Welcome to another Zincast, and today we're going to be talking about fantasy football. That's right, but not just overall fantasy football. We're going to keep this focused to a specific league. The league I'm in, the Hoboken's Players Club, which is based out of Jersey City. Maybe we should change the name. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So, look, this video is really in response to Dan's video a couple days ago, which, by the way, good job, Dan, on that video. But he pretty much took my team and Eddie's team and tore them apart. 0% chance to make the playoffs, I believe, is what he said. And yeah, I understand we're both 0-4, but one of us will be 1-4 at the end of this week. The other one, unfortunately, will be 0-5. I really hope that's not me. But what I'm trying to say is the percentages, 0%, that is incorrect. I did the math. And Eddie actually has a 16% chance of making the playoffs. And me, 5%. So
you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
That's right. Okay, now let's actually go ahead and break down some of these teams. You know, let's start with Dan's team. Let me pull Dan's team up here. Miracle at the Meadowlands. And yeah, you know, he's gotten lucky. That's what I see. He's 2-2, but his team, he's got a ton of IR, bunch of people out, and it's really Patrick Mahomes and some matchups that helped him out. Specifically last week when barely beat my team. That's right, matchups pretty much just worked out to your favor, Dan. That's right, I'm talking directly at you. Feel like, you know, those internet wars has started between me and Dan, but no, not really. By the way, that was your first video, right? I still loved it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this team, I wouldn't be afraid of this team. This team to me is, it's all right. It's all right. I'd say you probably have a 50% chance of making the playoffs. That's not all that great. It's like a flip of a coin. All right, so now let's actually get to the real business. And Peggy dominating the league yet again, the Simba Showstoppers. There's nothing to not like about this team. And when you look at it, there's no injuries, there's nothing. This team is firing on all cylinders, and I expect the winning to continue. Lou Dog destroys everyone that he plays except for Dave and Peggy. This is going back from last year. And though I will say the injury bug is catching up to Lou Dog. He'll probably lose this week to Peggy, and then at that point, we'll see how his season goes. Pittsburgh Feelers, Dave. I'm gonna give you a shout out there, and you're making fun of my team. I don't know what it is. You do have the Steelers defense, which sucks. You got the injury bug creeping up on you also. I'm seeing a theme here, but Kyler Murray, he's been playing. I think he's pretty much been carrying your team. But all right, let us continue. Boats and Hoes, Dougie. Listen, pull it up. There it goes. Your quarterback sucks. Yeah, he gives you some big points sometimes, but yeah, sucks. And listen, Tyler Lockett has been money, and Eddie knows how Metcalf has been garbage, and it really should be the reverse. But this week, of course, while I'm playing Eddie, Metcalf finally wakes up, and Tyler Lockett, not so much. And now, quarterback Geno Smith is going to be throwing to Lockett. So yeah, other than that, not so big of the injury bug. I mean, Joe Mixon, that kind of hurts, but how good is he anyway? We'll see how Aaron Jones does. And listen, I love your kicker, though. All right. Let us continue down the list. The Warner Brothers. Yeah, Derek Carr, he's been amazing this year. Tyreek Hill, it's like the only person besides Kelsey that Mahomes throws to. I know, because I have the second receiver, Mecole Hardman there, and he does nothing, literally nothing. And I don't start him, but you would assume with how much they throw, he would do something. But yeah, check out the waiver next week. He'll probably be out there because I'm definitely dropping him. We already read over Dan's team, so we're just going to skip that and go right to Cromartie's Busted Rubbers, Eric. And Eric's rocking the old team with the Tom Brady. Alvin Kamara, I don't know if he's lived up to his draft position just yet. Injury bug maybe on Chase Edmond there, but not really hitting this team too hard. I kind of don't really like the bench here. So you got to really stay away from injuries. And Dawson Knox, I was going to pick him up, and I didn't. I was thinking about drafting him as a backup, and then I never did. And he's actually been playing fairly well. All right, continuing on. Joe, buck yourself. Elliott. Russell Wilson, you're going to need a replacement there. So you have Trey Lance. I don't think that's the replacement. So you are going to be hitting the waivers or free agency. Zeke. Zeke's got his good games, got his bad games. Singletary, he's kind of fallen off the map there. I remember I drafted Zach Moss from Buffalo, and then I dropped him because they didn't even play him in game one, and I was like, all right, this guy's not going to play. And then, game two, and also now he's taking more work. Cooper Kupp is the bane of my existence because Robert Woods seems to do nothing in the first 3 games because Kupp did everything. But last game, of course, Woods finally woke up. Kittle looks out, by the way, so you're going to need to make some changes there. And, listen, your injuries are creeping up on you also, so that is something to watch out. And you're a 2-2 team. In fact, from Warner Brothers down, they've all been 2-2 teams, and these teams can easily slip to that bottom bracket where me and Ed currently are. All right, let's go to Dak Goose, John Block, and your team. Obviously, you got the Dak Prescott. Christian McCaffrey, that's really hurting you. Cordell Patterson, I remember drafting that guy so many times, or at least picking him up so many times in the past, and no one ever did anything. But hey, Atlanta likes to use him, so that's good. Look, your team, Waller and Dak and Thielen. Listen, when I played you, I was like, I couldn't believe you were starting Cooks because I was like, Cooks is not going to do anything. Who's throwing to him, right? And then Cooks did something. This was after Tyrod got injured, but yeah. And then Cooks literally beat me that game. And if you actually go and look at all the games I've lost, and Ed specifically, except for the first game, week 1, I got blown out. But other than that, they've been 4-point losses, 6-point losses. So, and Ed's been losing by less than a point sometimes. So yeah, those 0-4 records are not really worth it there. I don't think those teams could easily be 2-2. But all right, let us continue. Booted like Butker. Jimbo over here, he has no running backs. None. And I've actually tried to trade a running back to him back when I actually had running backs that weren't injured. And he wouldn't take the trade. So, I went on behind the table, and we thought we'd propose it, but we never did because we couldn't come to an agreement. And I think that 1-3, by the way, your only win comes against me. And that's only because the Patriots were playing the Jets, and freaking Zach Wilson had to throw 8,008 interceptions in that game. And, hold on. James White also, who's dead now. Well, completely out of the league. He's not dead, okay? He didn't die, but he's injured, and he's out for the season. But he also had his best game ever, and, he's technically number 2. But, yeah, so the Jets, who I hate, pretty much effed me over when I played you, or else I would have won. Yeah, thank you, Zach Wilson and the Jets. All right, so we're done with that. That's definitely an 0-4 team right there with a lucky win. And then we go to Ed. Ed, who I'm playing this week, and DK Metcalf finally shows up, yes, with 22.8 points. So he's looking good. I'm going to go out on a limb and say point winner this week comes from this matchup. Either Ed or me. All right, so anyway, Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Taylor, James Robinson, DK Metcalf, Emmanuel Sanders, Noah Fant, Josh Jacobs, who looks like he's healthy, Panthers D, not a shabby D, And who cares about the kicker except for the Warner brothers? Yeah, this team, I don't understand how they're 0-4. I don't get it. Even the bench is good. Injury bug, not really hitting too hard. I mean, Michael Gallup, that's a bit of a loss there, but who would have thought Gronk was going to be Gronk? But just like Gronk being Gronk, he did the Gronk thing and got like the worst injury ever, where they read what all the things, punctured lung, ribs, all that stuff. I was like, wow, dude, that guy has no luck with staying healthy. So Ed, your team 0-4. You want to quit? Don't retire, man. Your team is awesome. You just had some bad luck. And that leads us to digging a pit in the woods, my team, otherwise known as the Steel Town. And yeah, so the first few weeks, I literally lost because Stephon Diggs, Robert Woods, and Kyle Pitts did absolutely nothing. If they just made projections or came close, I would have some wins. But they didn't. Herbert's a stud. Eckler's been awesome. Carson, before he got injured, was doing well, and then he got injured last game, which that's why he only gave up 3 points there, and I lost last week by I think 4 points or something like that, or 5 points. But I did pick up his backup and stuck him in this week. And by the way, that wasn't a waiver claim. He was just sitting out there. Alex Collins was just sitting there. Yeah, 7.6 points, but better than nothing, because at that point in time, Mitchell was still questionable, so I had to really run with another running back. And Dave texted me and telling me, oh, I thought you'd pick up a tight end. I was like, why did I pick up a tight end? My running back is toast, and his replacement is sitting right there. And he was asking me if I was snoozing. I think everyone else was snoozing on that, because again, that was not a waiver pickup. That was just sitting there. But Woods, hey, it would have been nice if he scored a touchdown, but he had like 8 billion receptions for like 150 yards or something like that. So he did really well for me. So he's waking up. And Diggs, he had actually a good game last week, so hopefully he's waking up. And, I like this team. Injuries, not really that big. Curtis Samuel, that's not starting him, who cares? Carson is really the big one, but looks like he might be back next week. And if not, I got the backup. And with Mitchell being healthy now, I'm telling you, 0-4, it's not really 0-4. All right, so let's go ahead and actually take a look at some real numbers here. Points allowed, okay? How many points have been scored against certain teams? I'm second there. 440 points against my team. Anytime someone faces my team, they have a really good week. And it doesn't help that my points forced are, 369. That's fairly low, but if you look, that's not the lowest. There are 2 teams that have scored less points than me. The thing is, they've just got some lucky matchups where they haven't had too many points against them. So this is huge. If you look at these numbers, you could really see some trends here. And Ed is also a victim of the points allowed. He's in the middle of the pack there. But the points forced, if you look at Ed, he's actually had more than me. So, he's sitting there. Again, there's 3 people under him. So why is he 0-4? Again, sometimes it comes to luck. And yeah, I hope I bored you all with some fantasy football talk of the Hoboken's Players Club. And that's right, Dan, don't ever say I have a 0% chance of making the playoffs. Because now, that's my goal, is to make the playoffs. And I'm not retiring. Okay? I go 0 in whatever, I don't know how many games we play. I go 0 for the season, and I'll be back if there's a league. And I'll kick your asses all then. All right, guys. Listen, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And, have a good one. And good luck this weekend.